Good afternoon. How do I do it? Sometimes it's so hard. The numbers talk to you. They don't talk out loud. But when you see them, when your mind is awake, I don't know if mine is, because the numbers are talking to me, so I must be sleeping. But the numbers tell me, and I'm looking at Nibiru, and I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And out of the 5, I only had 2 successful. I don't know why they keep closing down. The better my videos, doesn't make a difference. It's what I say inside of them. Many things on my mind. And I know what once I put Nibiru on this, everybody wants to look. What am I supposed to do? Change my whole dimension and do it perfect and explain all the numbers in Nibiru the way I see it? I can do it, but I'm just going to have to repeat a few of these until it becomes El Naturello. You know what I'm saying? Once it comes natural and you talk about it, oh yeah, I understand. Now I just saw a video about somebody showing me that it's a vortex system. And I never saw the way the system would work, but when he showed it, oh, it made so much sense. It makes all the sense in the world for the free energy on the rodent coil, just because of what he showed. By the friction on our movement, okay, rock carries an energy inside of it. You don't have to think. If you go burn something outside in the winter and it snows, that whole spot will melt. So if it didn't carry an energy, the spot wouldn't melt. But it melted. Probably not the good words to choose. Am I close enough to the camera? Can't check for my cavities. Just came from the dentist. Oh, yes. What? Brush my teeth? Am I supposed to be serious about this? Well, listen to this. If Nibiru comes or some metamorphosis of some transformer comes and can't even talk anymore. Transformer, I want to try and get to be relaxed in front of all the people. So if I act like this now, how much worse can it get before I feel like a fool and I'm embarrassed? Or I'm no longer embarrassed because I don't feel like a fool. And it really doesn't matter what all the people say. It's only what I think of what all the people say, and I think about it. Might help me, might not. So we're 2 minutes 29. Nibiru, 9, 18th letter. Okay, this is just 2 of them in there. And of course, the more letters in the word, the more it's going to say. Okay, but 9 and 18 is I and R. They're the only 2 in the alphabet. But in this world, the 7 comes out. How does it come out? Because when the Y shows up after Z, it's the 27th letter. It's the 27th letter and the 25th of 52. 5 and 2, and being the 25th letter at the same time, because the 2 Y's, Y and Y, are a total of 25 and 27, equaling to 52, which is 7 and 7 worlds. Y this way, and Y that way. Don't ask any questions. I'm only reading what's in there and adding on, not a little bit of laughter, but what I see goes along with it. Another thing it says here, E-ast, A-S-T. I'll explain to you how that comes out is because in the letter R, the 18th letter, there's an A, R, and E sounding, or A and R, but at least you know that if you're sounding the A and R together, you already know you must be in the E world. The electronic transformation spirit said in French. The French and English twisting them up and down, you see how you can tie back the 2 worlds. Oh, it's not those 2 languages only, but those are basically the only 2 I know. Oh, baby, but if I knew a lot more, I know I'd be able to connect more, because everything is like a sewing kit. In fact, it's 1 thread at a time. Isn't that the way machines make it? It's 1 thread at a time. It's not a snap of the picture. Nibiru, 14th letter. Where is the presence of the 14th letter in Monopoly? I didn't bring it on board, so I'm going to have to take a look where it is. Give me a second. Because I'm going to tell you about Nibiru. I'm going to give you some more letters on Nibiru. Well, these are the letters of Nibiru. N-I-N. Ni. By or burr. You have a burr? French, you can call it butter. You don't have the E in here, but you don't need it. The minute you have 2 I's, I and I, automatically half and half. You know why? Because I and R are the only 2 letters that exist. The 27th letter, 9, 18, 27, is in between and reconnecting the alphabet. You put them together, I-R, and sometimes the Y it is Erie or year, or Y-I-S, Yiskor. I always say Yiskor when that comes up. Reconnecting of the two sides of the alphabet as you came into the world from one side and you came back from up my ass, Uranus. Another sun upside down set at the end of a word. Nibiru, rib, rue in French, street. Now we're going to get it out this way. Listen to this. We're going to try and see if you can, if I hate the camera here, there's a little bit better. 14, 9, 2, 9, 18, and U, 21st letter. 1 and 4 is 5, 9, 2, 9, 9, 3. Creation of 9, 1, birth. I-N-R, 3 parts, I-R-U, Eru. At the same time, Ru, sounding like a kangaroo, or a man with one pocket. Why? Because all you got is one eye to see, the electronic eye that's up in the matrix. That plays the game. You're on here, you feel everything, man. What a crazy life we're. It's like a package. It's 3 for 1 because you got to return. You're hooked up to 2 down here. I don't know how it works. Well, we're not alone. I can guarantee you that. So if you want something more out of your dreams, when you go to bed, smile at night, be nice to everybody during the day, and go to bed, my friends. You can do a little bit of traveling. Imagine you can go to Mars and sleep every single night and come home. You can do whatever you want in your dream. By the time you wake up, don't worry about being tired. You're rejuvenated. Cheers. The only thing I drink is sake. Okay? You know what? Alfred Weber Lambert, Lambert Weber Alfred, Alfred Lambert Weber, something like that. They were talking about how the bankers are taking, and we owe them all this $17 trillion. And I'm thinking, 17 trillion? Like, how old is the oldest dinosaur? I have to know how old the Earth, like they think it is, because they might be owing that money to somebody else. Like the ones who gave us our bodies, like Asia, down in New Zealand. You ever see the movie, they call it the Geisha Woman? Well, we are like the Geisha people. We owe somebody that gave us this life, somebody that's below God, and all he wants is what you highly partake in this world is the greatest thing is to win and get the big trophy, and the money is the gravy on top. Because at a certain point, my friends, do you know how to trap money? Do you know how to teach money to walk? The only way to teach money to walk is put spending curvatures. You cannot buy 65 homes. You cannot own 1 million buildings. At the same time, we have to make sure everybody's getting salaries and paid. Oh, don't worry about that. I think if you do it close to home, those millions and billions and trillions of dollars that we spend on gas and transport going out of the city, the people that are undermining other people and growing bank accounts for some very large and insurance companies and banks, etc. We don't need them anymore. We need just 1, 2, or 3, or 4 of them. And of course, they're always going to be checked because the money must have a leash. Certain amounts of monies must have a leash. Who taught me that? Well, you can't go over the border with over $10,000. Some sort of leash it is, eh? You understand? They do have a leash on money. Do you see the leash? Well, it's easy. When you run out of money in your pocket and you're still allowed to spend, well, the leash is too long. You got to shorten it up. So we don't eat as much in every meal for 1 week a year. But remember, once we pay first and we move forward, it's the only way. Nibiru, into 9 minutes of thought. Somewhere over here on this board is Nibiru. The question is, which way did they integrate it? Did they integrate it by the separation of black and red? that when it's on the board where you make your bets and combinations of bets, makes actual designs because of the split and connection between the red and the black numbers, the evens and the odds, in which they're all triplicated between 1 and 9, 10, 11, 12, 3, 9 and 3, 9 and 3, 9 and 3. 27 and 9. I and the y that replaces the y. Why did you ask that question? Because there's a set of 1 to 9 numbers. Then there's a row straight across, like sort of a rectangle, but half a rectangle, right? So then you got 3 there, then you got 9 more numbers, you got 3 there, you got 9 more numbers, you got 3 there. Wait a second. What's that? Who's calling? I got a call from above. He said, I made a design. What design was that? The way the body works, the way the universe works. Oh, okay. Cool, man. Yeah. Who cares, right? Who cares what? I know and you know we share. Thank God. I don't have to remember tomorrow. It's hard because one of my friends will share with me if I don't remember. He'll update me with what's going on. Nibiru. The first 2 numbers total 14, which is the cross and the crossing of the Christ in Rubik's Cube. The second one shows the top. That's right. The top. When you say the top of Rubik's, it's 9. It's the face. Then you want to go down. So you have to go 12 around to go down. Plus 3, 13, 14, 12 around. 3, 6, 9, 11. Because you can't touch the other side. That's how the G is created. You touch the other side, you miss the center. That's how you go into Rubik's Cube and you go down and out through one of the twists. Do you follow me? Do you follow me? Because you're going to have to remind me now. This is not about me. It's all about what you can remind me of that we can do together and build this thing. Still interested after 11 minutes? 12, 9, 10, 11. 12 would be the center of the cube. With 3 more spaces that were not duplicated, is now 15. We call the center 15 the egg. So this is what we do now. NIB in Nibiru backwards says a bean. So big deal. If you really want to know, R and U. I don't like this cassette. R and U, the 18th letter R, the 19th, and the 21st letter U. Anytime you say R, you're going to bring the A and the S into it, and you're going to say RU. It's going to be a total of 39, which means perfect. But it's going to say ARU or RUE. Both of them say the street, S and T. Now I'm going to show you something funny out of this. Where's the beginning of this? Nibiru, here. 1 and 4 is 5. 5 times 92. 460 plus 14. 4 by 7 is 28. 4 by 7 is 28 on the other side. 4 and 7 is 11. Put it in the first design. 4 and 7 is 11. Okay? 11. Well, I can't see on that side. Here. 4 and 7 is 11. Is that it? There, right at the beginning. I don't know. Maybe you can see for me. 4 and 7 is 11. 11 and 28 is 39. 39. 28, 39. Einstein. E. I. 14. N. 28. 28. S. 19th letter. T. 20th letter. 39. EIN. 28 again. Einstein and Nibiru. The last part of Nibiru. Nibiru. The street of Einstein. The rib. I says there's an E. Now I can say also a beer. I can also say air, air and air. Now this is not a big cassette for anybody. This is something you have to learn to grow with. I mean, if you want to see what I can do, I can explain to you the first 10 numbers of pi and how it works against the go to jail in Monopoly. Moving forward 5 and backwards 4, because one time you will not count the spot you are on, but the other time you will. Because one time you will be going back and one time you will be going forward, changing the 1-4 to the 1-5. The total of the 1-4-1-5 going back and forward, and not the position you started with, which is 1. 5 and 4 is 9. That is the next position, and you started in 1-4 and 1-5 of each world. So that is the total of the 2. The God has to split up into 2. And then there is 6. Yes, from the corner the furthest out there is 6 now instead of 5. And from one corner to the other corner furthest out there is 5 instead of 4. From the beginning of 1-4, 1-5. If you want to total them up, 1-4 and 1-5 to start with totals 29. 2 and 9 is 11. The next number in pi is 92. 92 is 11. And the next number in pi is 6 and 5. 6 and 5 is 11. 2 and 9, that is 11, is the word for black. 6 and 5, or 5 and 6, is the word for white. Go figure out how somebody wrote pi in the middle of the night, right? So there's other things about pi. It also breaks down to, can you see it? I can't even see it myself. Where it says Ni is 2 and 3, okay? And then what we have is Bi is 29, and Ru is 39. So I take these numbers here, and I make them into a simple count over here. 232. 232 is what you see over here. 232. And then you have 939. So isn't it so perfect, the way the numbers work out on each side? One ends up to be 1111. The other ends up to be 99. It also ends up to be 2 by 9, 18. 2 and 9, 11 equals to 29 again. 29 repeats. And 29 is the birth tunnel. It is the water. The O. AU4. I heard that somewhere before. In French, it's the passage, or au revoir. Oh, I'm coming back. It's not one language. It's more than one language. And it's not one person who writes it out. They wrote out the Mayan calendar to move into the future for evolution of time. There isn't only one calendar out there. There's calendars of the new beginning in all of us. We grew up with what we saw. And 1/4 minimum in everything is the hot light, the light. It must be in everything because it's an imprint of this planet. And we are imprints from our parents and from the system matrix. The matrix runs this whole thing. You think government really takes a guess at what's going on and they make it all perfect? No. No way, I can't see it. Okay? I just can't. Even if I'm wrong with what I say now, I have to tell you what's in my heart. There's too many things that you can give me even off of this wheel. This wheel tells us the egg of electricity and the point of time ends in 2 years in October, at the time of Yom Kippur Rosh Hashanah. How do I know that? I went back to a calendar about, 90 years ago, and I did my number trick, and that's what came out. But don't forget, with what I do, what was that in the background? You want me to repeat it? A crock of shit. Part of what I do, I implicate my heart and feeling from within the vibrations of what I see when I'm directly feeling it. But my numbers and the explanations of my numbers, you have to make your own decision. Of what? Forgot the word. Definition. My chosen definitions is what makes up, not all of it, let's say half. The other ones are taking letters and taking one letter out and putting another letter in. Changing the first letter to see if it makes any other words. Taking a word that has no unique assembly on this earth, making it unique, and finding out where it could have possibly come from, because everything is connected. Even if you told me my street, I would say Nibiru. To not deny the coming. And when you say to not deny not the Nibiru, what about 11:9? 9/11. Lenin. The Twin Towers. The number I just showed you in Nibiru, number 74, happens to be the dead center part of creation. When you take a 36 number grid and you add them all up, putting everything back into its place of a face, you end up with 74 in the center, 222, 444, 888, 1776. And 238 years later, or actually, you really want to read it, 234 years later, 234, 432, we are in 666. Let me say it again. 234 years from George Washington coming in to now, it's 234. Reverse that, 432 is 666. Are we marked with 666? Yes, we are. We're here now. We've never left. We are the angel residents, 66618. We are the R's, we're the S, and we're empty. And when you put the M in letter in front of the letter R, you have Mars. What is the bow tie all about? I'm going to end it right now. I want to put the bow tie here. Is it because they have you by the neck? Or is it because of the thyroid gland? I want to know what it is. I need to correct my feelings inside. Not my emotions, my feelings. The way I feel sometimes I fall off. I don't like it. I need a balance because I'm not too sure which side is too much and too little. Once I know where too much is, my too much can go all the way down to here, and that'll fill just as much as it was over here. It's called to gauge, compression, acceleration, knowing when to take the hit and to run. Because at the end, it's only at the end, at that last time, the last time that it was ever tried, that you have been defeated. Remember, don't lose your mind, and there's more in this world than you think. If somebody is not comprehending within who you are, then try and comprehend within who they are. Raphael 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus. Thank you.